Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway.
Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble afternoon. This y'all shorty Rachel. Let me welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. Man, look, listen, let's talk about it. Y'all know when it comes to podcast, we talk about it all right. We got random topics and thoughts today, man. We gonna see what's going on with this CoryHolcomb, all right, AntonDaniels, and somehow KwameBrown got brought up in the midst of this, John, all right, and more. Let me give a big shout out to Mr. Oates, man. Shout out to my OG, man. We got Ohio in the building, Cleveland in the building. Shout out to my OG, though. Blessings to the chat. I see somebody here said hi, user Blake. I'm not sure where y'all watching from, man, but listen, we're about to get this John started. Welcome to Philly, baby. HP is in the house, yo. Welcome to Philly, man. We're gonna do this live Philly style. I'm dropping the link in a minute. All right, I'm gonna drop it now. But listen, man, let me land my plane. All right, I'm not gonna let anybody up until I land my plane. All right, listen. The internet is going wild. All right, but I am going to drop the link so I can pin it in a minute over there on my YouTube. Listen, shout out to everyone on Twitch. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. I can't see if y'all chat, all right, because I could only keep 3 tabs open at a time right now on my laptop. I got my YouTube on this, John, all right, on the phone, so I can see y'all from over here. But if y'all is on Twitch or on Facebook, y'all put y'all comments there. I'll be able to see it over here on the StreamYard. But I want to keep my focus on these videos, all right? But listen, all right, y'all. Let's talk about it. Because the whole internet been spinning like a washing machine, all right, with this CoryHolcomb and AntonDaniels situation. And somehow, KwameBrown got dragged into the group chat, all right? Like he clicked join by accident, all right? Social media is undefeated, all right? I keep telling y'all that. Undefeated. People will talk whether it's good, bad, sideways, upside down, or completely off topic, all right? Folks will create a storyline out of thin air like they, writing, how can I say, fan fiction. But since everybody and their cousin been tagging me, all right, sending me clips, sending me, how can I say, videos on my DM, Racheal, what you think, man? Shorty, what you think? Rachel, like that Ryder. I'm saying here like, damn, okay, I accept the Racheal, the Rachel, and the Shorty, but shit, y'all know Ryder is the head honcho, right? The CEO of this fucking company. Right? Ryder is my fiance. All right. He's the face behind everything that, a Shorty does. I'm just letting y'all know, all right? But when y'all say, right, I'll be thinking like, y'all want my baby pops to give his input? Shit, I gotta kidnap him one day, all right? I gotta sit him here, and I gotta, look, listen, I don't know, I think I'm gonna put a, I'm not even gonna say a banana. Yeah, I gotta put a banana, pretending like I got him at gunpoint and shit, like shit. You gonna sit here, and you gonna do what the people tell you. I'm gonna pimp him out. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn to Griselda Blanco for a second. Let me stop talking trash before he come home and hang me upside down. All right, with 2 fingers by my ankles. But listen, once again, all right, listen, the internet will talk no matter what, all right? Folks will create a storyline out of thin air, all right? Just like they're writing fan fiction. But since everybody, like I said, want to tag a Shorty on this, listen, I'm gonna be raw and uncut. Some of y'all is not gonna like my input in what I say. All right, listen, man. Y'all was asking me what I think at 2 a.m. All right, so we're gonna get into it. All right, I was looking at these videos at 2 o'clock in the morning, like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. KwameBrown slapping back at AntonDaniels. Listen, but y'all know my opinion when it comes to AntonDaniels. All right, y'all know that, like, when it comes to him, I feel as though he's on point. All right, but it is a lot of hypocrisy and contradictions when it comes to him. All right, so we're going to get into it today because clearly the streets want commentary, and baby, commentary is what we gonna do. All right, Now, let's start with the obvious. Corey versus AntonDaniels. All right. The way this internet beef escalated, you would have, thought somebody stole somebody's stimulus check. All right. Listen, I've been sent so many videos. I feel like I'm studying for a final exam. All right. I didn't sign up for it. All right. And listen, we're gonna react to some of them, all right, because the content is wild. But before we even hit play, let me say this loud enough for the people, in the back who only listen when, it's messy. A lot of y'all want my input on Corey talking about Anton's daughter, right? And I'm gonna be real, all right. I'm against talking about people's kids, period. Kids are off limits, all right, in my book. But this is the internet. And the internet don't have a book. The internet don't have rules. The internet barely has common sense. And I'm not bashing nobody. I'm speaking in general. Now, if you want to label yourself, right, with the label I put out there, because I ain't labeled nobody. All right, I'm speaking in general. But if you want to grab the little sticker and say, hey, I'm gonna label myself what Shorty just said, or I'm gonna put myself in the category of the people that she's talking. You see where I'm coming from? That's on you, not on me. That's on you. But anyways, people online will say anything because they know there's no real consequences, right? When it comes to online. I mean, that's what they say. At least that's the plea, right? They know they can, close the app, go eat a sandwich, and pretend they didn't just say something foul. And that's, that's the problem. Nobody listens, all right? Nobody respects boundaries. Nobody cares about the line, all right? Until it's their kid, their mama, their family being dragged. Then suddenly, everybody wants moral ethics, all right? They want morals and they want ethics. But when it's somebody else's child, oh, now it's content. Now it's just jokes. Now it's he should be able to take it. The hypocrisy is crazy, right? Oh, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Me personally, right? I don't come at people's kids. I don't need to, all right? I listen, I got enough material roasting grown adults who act like kids. Why would I go after, the minors when the adults are the ones here, all right? They're the ones out here giving, how can I say, me unlimited content. But the truth is, on these apps, everybody talks about everybody. Kids, mothers, fathers, exes, pets, ancestors. Nobody is safe. The lack of respect is huge, right? It's like people log in and leave their humanity at the login screen. And then they wonder why the energy online feels so toxic. Babe, it's toxic because y'all keep pouring bleach into the pool. Y'all keep, how can I say, bringing your open wounds, all right, pouring blood, bleeding all over the matrix on people that didn't even hurt you. And let's be honest, all right, half the people talking don't even care about the situation. They just want something to react to, something to argue about, something to clip for their channel. Social media beef is a whole economy now. All right. Folks will drag a topic for 3 weeks straight just to get a $12 check. All right, from YouTube. They don't care who gets hurt, who gets misrepresented, all right, who gets caught in the crossfire. Kind of like KwameBrown for speaking his mind, right? Kind of like Mr. Oates for speaking his mind. Shout out to Mr. Oates show on some real shit. All right, let's not listen. People see KwameBrown as a celebrity, so let me put Kwame to the side for a second. We'll get to him in a minute. All right, let's put Mr. Oates in this John. All right, kind of like Mr. Oates, man. And every day I pray for Mr. Oates. I'm like, damn, man, Lord, have mercy on Mr. Oates, man. He's just trying to do, the right thing. He's speaking his mind, giving an opinion, and everybody just got something to say. But it's okay. I understand, Lord. Listen, I've been in his shoes before. The same way I've been on, a lot of these people's shoes. We just, we got to put it out of sight, out of mind. Lord, have mercy on Mr. Oates. But anyways, back on to the comment, right? But anyways, right, listen, kind of like KwameBrown, who probably woke up, right, confused, like, how did I get in this? Right? I was minding my business, eating cereal. Right? But listen, but this is why I always tell y'all, be careful what you entertain. Because once you let the internet decide the narrative, baby, they're going to remix it, flip it, twist it, and turn it into something you don't even recognize. And once it's out there, it's out there. You can't put how can I say, the toothpaste back on, how can I say, yeah, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. All right. You can't, how can I say, unring the bell. And you definitely can't expect strangers to suddenly develop empathy when they've been rewarded for being disrespectful. We got young Rias in the building. Blessings, young Rias. So today we're going to break this down, react to these videos, and talk about the bigger picture. All right. Not the, how can I say, not just the drama, but the culture, all right, that keeps feeding it. Because this isn't just about, Cory or Anton or Kwame. This is about, how can I say, the environment. I include myself, I was a part of it at one point in time, all right? At one point in history, a shorty indulged in this bullshit. Yes, I did. Do I regret it? In a way, but not really. Not really, because I learned something from it. As crazy as it sounds, will I do it again? No. But if only we had this knowledge when we come out of our mama's womb. Damn, my bad. Anyways. All right. We've created this environment where disrespect is entertainment and boundaries are optional. And yes, we're going to laugh. We're going to roast. All right. We're going to keep it real. But we're also going to talk about accountability, because if we don't, all right, the cycle just keeps spinning. And I'm tired of watching grown ass folks act like they need a digital daycare. That's what it feels like. All right. Grown ass mofos, all right, acting like they need digital daycare. Like, listen. So, my bad. My sinus is acting stupid. I apologize for that. Listen. So, when people keep telling me, shorty, you got to pick a side, Cory or Anton, I just look at them like, why? Why do you think everything on the internet got to be, a team sport? I'm not picking no side, because both of these men got their own flaws, their own contradictions, and their own moments where they do too much. I'm not here to be a cheerleader, all right, for either one. I'm here to call it how can I say, I'm here to call it how I see it. And how I see, let me put it like this. And how I see it is, right, this whole situation is messy, loud, unnecessary, and fueled by people who love drama more than they love accountability. So me, I'm not picking a side. I'm picking the truth. And the truth, don't need, how can I say, a jersey to validate it. So let's start with Anton, since y'all swear he's the innocent businessman. We just be talking. All right. So no, we don't just be talking. Let's be real. Anton is not innocent. I could understand if he never came at kids. If he kept it strictly adult to adult, but he hasn't. All right. He talks about everybody, kids, parents, spouses, whoever crosses his radar. And that's why I don't understand, the sudden outrage, like he's some, how can I say, delicate flower who never crossed, a line. He has multiple times he has crossed that line. So when people act shocked that someone finally has something bad, has something, how can I say, has something back to say to him, even though, Anton didn't come at a kid. But it's kind of like, listen, karma doesn't ask you how you want it when it's time for karma to come and get you. On some real shit. And in my head, sometimes I'm like, yo, y'all must have been watching. Y'all must have just started watching Anton last week. I mean, for a lot of people, they be saying, oh, man, he's so, oh, my. Listen, first of all, the man posted his child. If you don't want your child, all right, repost it. Don't post your child. I don't get tired of saying that. I don't. If someone reposts a picture of my child, right, I can't get mad because I have pictures out there. That's not doxing. Now, what Corey did, calling the little girl out her name and then, an itch and that, y'all know I don't agree with that, right? Well, how can I get someone to stop from saying that? Women and men come on this drawing and do the same shit. All right, now, I'll give Anton this. He has great talking points. Sometimes he'll drop a gem about history or local voting or finances, and you're like, okay, that's a solid. But then, he turns around and contradicts himself in the same breath, all right? He'll preach discipline and humility, then, brag about money and belittle people. He'll talk about integrity, then do something, that screams hypocrisy. And listen, we all have we all have hypocritical moments, all right? We're human. But Anton, he does the most, right? He does, he does the absolute most. It's like he's speed. It's like he's speed running contradictions at this point. There you go. All right. And let's talk about the part, people don't want to admit. Anton is not genuine to me. What he doesn't come from the heart. It comes from the wallet. All right. It comes from the algorithm. It comes from the need to stay relevant and profitable. Profitable. I didn't even say the whole word right. Snap. Right? When he talks, it feels like a performance. Like he's selling something even when he's not holding a product. And that's fine. The internet is full of performers, right? But don't act like, he's pure. All right? Like, like his intentions are pure. Like, like it's rooted in love for the community. It's rooted in monetization. That's my opinion, and I stand on it. And I know I'm not the only one that feels like that. All right. Now, let's slide over to Corey. Corey is a comedian. We know his history. We know his style. Corey going to be Corey. He's been raw, unfiltered, reckless, all right, and boundary pushing since forever. That's his brand. That's his lane. And when you watch Corey, you already know what you're, signing up for. Jokes that go too far, commentary that hits, nerves, and humor that sometimes crosses the line. I'm not trying to say that it's right, but I'm saying it's consistent. Corey is not pretending to be a saint. He's not pretending to be, a moral compass. He's a comedian who talks trash for a living. All right. And that's the difference between the two. Corey is exactly who he, presents himself to be. You may not like it, but he's not hiding it. Anton, on the other hand, tries to package himself as this wise, disciplined, morally superior businessman while still dipping into the same messy behavior he claims to be above. That's why people react differently. All right. Corey's chaos is expected. Anton's chaos is disguised as leadership. All right. And when the disguise slips, people get confused. But I'm not confused. All right. I see both of them clearly. So, no, I'm not picking a side. I'm not Team Corey or Team Anton. All right. I'm Team accountability. I'm Team call out the nonsense whenever it shows up. I'm Team stop acting shocked when people who throw shots get shots thrown back. All right. And I'm Team let's stop pretending these internet personalities are role models. They're entertainers. They're content creators. They're grown men who know exactly what they're doing. And today we're going to break it down with honesty, humor, and a little bit of Philly seasoning. All right. Because if we don't talk about it real, then what's the point of even bringing this topic up? And like I said earlier, a lot of y'all are going to get mad at me, man. And guess what? I don't care. All right. So before we get these videos started, all right, I don't know if y'all still watching, probably. I don't know if y'all aren't, but shit, I'm going to say this one last thing before I press play. All right. What's really wild to me, all right, is how KwameBrown got thrown dead center into this whole situation just for giving his honest opinion. All right. It's happened to a lot of people. This man wasn't even in, how can I say, the original beef. He wasn't tagging nobody. He wasn't instigating. He wasn't doing the most. He simply said what he felt, and somehow the internet grabbed him by, how can I say, by the balls and the collar, right, and dragged him into the ring like he volunteered. Like, it's crazy how fast social media would turn you into a main character when you were just, how can I say, trying to comment from the, comment from the sidelines. 1 minute you're, how can I say, sipping your coffee. The next minute you're, how can I say, trending for something you didn't even start. And the next part, right? I'm not the next part, right? Slow down. Bring it back a notch. Bring it back. Let me turn off the camera. It's time to smoke. Oh, all right. And the part that kills me, right, is, the internet acting like Kwame said something outrageous. No, he didn't. He said, what a lot of people were already thinking, but were too scared to say out loud. He gave a perspective that wasn't rooted in clout, wasn't rooted in, how can I say, favoritism, wasn't rooted in trying to go viral. It was just, his honest take. And instead of people respecting that, they jumped straight to attacking him. That's how folks don't, want honesty. They want validation. They want you to pick their side. How can I say, echo their bias and clap for their narrative. The moment you don't, they turn on you. All right. This is the thing about social media. People love to dish it out, all right, but they cannot take it. They will talk about it every day. Kids, parents, spouses, all right, looks, careers, trauma, everything. But the moment someone says something about them, suddenly bullying, hate, unfair, and crossing the line is what they say it is. Nah, man. If you don't want to be talked about in a bad way, don't do it to others. Don't throw, how can I say, stories and then cry when somebody I said story. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. I'm tripping. Let me rephrase that. What the hell? Oh my God. Look, listen. Don't throw stones and then cry when somebody, throws them stones right back at you. The internet has selective morality, all right? And it shows every single day. Every single day. All right. And that's why I keep telling y'all, social media is undefeated. People will twist your words, clip your sentences, and turn your opinion into a storyline. They don't care about the context. They don't care about intention. They care about entertainment. Kwame gave a, how can I say, a calm, reasonable take, and somehow that turned into a whole storm. Meanwhile, the people who actually started the drama are sitting back watching. All right, the internet fight over their mess. That's the part nobody wants to admit. All right, like, damn, the audience loves chaos more than the truth, man. Can't y'all see that? All right, but listen, let's be real. KwameBrown is not new to this. All right, he's been through the worst. He's been dragged before. He's been, how can I say, misrepresented before, and he stood 10 toes down every time. That's why, he didn't fold this time either. He said what he said, and he kept it moving. And honestly, I feel as though Anton got in his feelings. All right. That's how, the way Kwame was is how you got to be online. All right. If you're going to speak your truth, you got to be ready for the backlash, because the internet will always find a way to twist it. But at least Kwame stands on his word, yo. A lot of people can't say the same. So when I look at this whole situation, I don't see Kwame, as the problem. I see the culture. I see the pattern. I see the, way people weaponize outrage for clicks. And I see how quick folks are, how can I say, how quick folks are to attack someone who isn't even a part of the original conflict. That's why I always say, if you don't want negativity coming your way, don't put negativity out. Because once you start playing the disrespect game, you don't get to control who responds, all right, or how they respond. And today we're going to talk about all of it, all right, the hypocrisy, the double standards, and the way social media turns honesty, all right, into controversy. And with me saying that, let's get started on this video. All right, so we're going to start off with the little small videos first, all right, and then we're going to play, I think we're going to play on how it started off first. Right after we play the little videos, we're gonna play on how it started off. I think CoryHolcomb threw the shots first. No, not all right. In the beginning, it was both of them. All right. Then I guess Anton says some shit, but I can't find that video. So I'm hoping in between these little videos is there. Then Corey responded. I got that response. All right. Then Anton came back. All right. Shit, you even got the that lawyer here on YouTube talking about this damn thing. This shit is crazy. I ain't gonna get into his live. All right, he did a whole 5-hour live. All right, let me share the screen. No, not that. Share the screen. This one. All right. So here's a video that was sent to me. Where is the tab? Here we go. And I'm not sure who LTTV is, right? Let me like their video. It says AntonDaniels deleted these videos and created a new character. So what we're going to do is, right, we're going to look at these videos. All right, it's saying a lot about Anton. I have a few more. All right, we might end up doing 2 parts to this. All right, I don't think I'm going to be able to do the whole live today, but this is going to end up being 2 parts, all right? Because we still got to do CoryHolcomb's videos too. But we're going to start off with Anton's, right? Because for some reason the internet thinks that Anton is this saint, all right? This angel, like he ain't sit here and delete a whole bunch of videos 1,000 times, all right, and expect people to forget what he said in the past. But anyways, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one saying this shit.
My focus is not ever really completely on money. And I'm not telling you not to be successful. Be successful in everything you do. What I'm saying is be happy, just to beat you. People are always comparing themselves or trying to be something that they're not. Or
you will never catch me. You will never be better than me. And I'm going to make sure of it because
money is going to come with it. I promise the success. It's just important to have that work-life balance.
I'm broke. Don't. Listen. Y'all picked the wrong one this year. I'm gonna show you just how broke I am.
My focus is not ever really completely on money. And I'm not telling you not to be successful. Be successful in everything you do. What I'm saying is be happy, focus on what fulfills you. As you never really do what you were meant to do, but you made a lot of money doing it. What have you really accomplished? Me.
if you see people that continue to tell you that money don't mean nothing or money don't make you happy, just to beat you.
People are always comparing themselves or trying to be something that they're not. Or
you will never catch me. You will never be better than me, and I'm gonna make sure of it because
money is gonna come with it.
Is the video repeating itself? Like I'm a little confused. All right, we're gonna watch the video. I'm trying to figure out what are we watching.
I promise the success, and it's all relative. Don't focus on what somebody else is doing or what somebody else has. Don't compare yourself. One of the things that I see a lot in social media is people are always comparing themselves or trying to be something that they're not. Or
the week just to beat you.
It's just important to have that work-life balance.
Do not.
All right, it's the way they made this video. I mean, shout out to the creator. Let me see the comments real quick. If Sassy was a person, I'm dead. Like, damn, they coming at his sassiness now. Example of the internet making it lean, thinking he's cool. His wife said he has multiple personalities. I mean, that's true. His wife did come out. I think it was a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and spoke a lot on AntonDaniels. All right, and that was crazy is when his wife came out speaking on him was when I had just started watching him. But I'm not sure what year it was. I don't think it was that long ago. It was. Listen, it's been a minute, but I'm not gonna sit here and say it's been like years and years. No, But I know she exposed his ass. I don't know who's got the video. I mean, I think CoryHolcomb plays it over there, and that's what got Cory in trouble anyway. So when we get to Cory's video, we'll watch the video that I'm talking about. But I hate when they clip videos like this together, all right? Because I get and I understand their intent, but it's like y'all mess it up because it's like, what the now? Like, what is we talking about now?
Respond the way that other people anticipate you responding.
It's just important to have that work-life balance.
Do not respond the way that other people anticipate you responding. You can anticipate how they will respond, but you never move how they move. Ever. Ever.
These niggas in real life is frauds. Nigga, who Cory done beat up? Cory would have got the shit beat out of him.
Oh shit, is this on the same live that I got down here of AntonDaniels responding back to Cory? But he wasn't wearing this clothes, was he? Oh, we gonna get to it. But damn, he acting tough right now. Listen, the plea is right. You could, people come online, they can say whatever they want, and nothing happens to them because they can log off and can't nobody touch them. But people have proven that once you log off, right, you've been found in a coffin. I'm just saying, how does that happen? If the plea is, well, I'm untouchable, you can't get me. Think about it. Anton, it be the loudest ones and people don't peep. It be the loudest ones, the one people love the most.
Cory would have got the shit beat out of him. I would have beat the shit out of Cory. And I'm not, listen, I'm telling you, it is what it is.
Listen, we got to get out of our emotions and focus more on making logical decisions. Stop trying to crash out and throw everything under the bus.
Like you did?
Asking for prayers is filthy work. After talking about you gonna beat him up, he's a snitch. He'll probably backdoor you. All the things that you were saying about Cory. Now you're the victim asking for prayer. It is filthy, man. It is absolute filthy work.
Start to look at him a little bit crooked because it's a bold-faced lie, and it's
Personally, I want to build a legacy. I
This was
can't do
recent too?
that if I'm 100% focused on money. Money don't mean anything. It's a means to take care of the things that you need to take care of, and it's not the measure by which I want to be evaluated in my lifetime. I want to be. I guess the point that I'm trying to make is it's just important to have that work-life balance. It's just important to have that work-life balance.
I'm willing to work.
I find you entertaining. However, there's some serious questions people have. The first thing is that you're using sign language to people who have valid questions. Bragging about who has the larger stack is childish.
No?
Wait. What was the question?
Bragging about who has the larger stack is childish. You're not answering with logic. You're using childish rhetoric.
So I guess this is somebody coming at Cory for his contradictions.
People have questions about your so-called rise to success. Can we pull up his LinkedIn profile? And then, Anton, you say W-2 is greater than your business success, and that's how you got your multi-millions. Yet you use the latter to boast about yourself as an authority figure on the internet. So it seems to be contradicting when you said a W-2 was the primary vehicle to how you have your multi-millions. But yet on the internet, you talk primarily about your past successful business experience when you're selling yourself out there.
Things could be true at the same time.
Yeah, so can we pull your LinkedIn profile? The certificates that you shown earlier in the video, that was a community college. So you didn't get a degree till 2016. And I find it hard to say that you had significant W-2 success in order to make yourself a multi-millionaire.
How haven't I?
And some of your income is actually public information because you used to work for a public university.
Oh, is the bull trying to say Anton is a fraud? I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Like, Anton is not just on YouTube, right? Like, listen, he'll give out information about YouTube, how to become a content creator and all that, but he also gives out information on finance. He's been on point. I don't get tired of saying that. He be on point. The problem with him is his hypocrisy, his contradictions sometimes. It's like I said, we could all be hypocritical, but shit, Anton goes overboard with it, all right?
Correct.
Damn.
So knowing the salary that I know, that I've seen, I'm not sure how that's translating to multi-million investment.
How haven't it?
Okay, so what were, and so there's a couple of claims you stated in your videos. You claimed you had a successful software company as you sold. Can you name that company?
I didn't sell the software company.
Do you have a name for it?
I'm not telling you what the name of my software company is.
Or, but I don't think
the same way that what happened to the restaurant, I'm not giving out information. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
That's smart.
The only thing I could find about you
I'm
was
not
your
giving out
restaurant.
information for
I
my
didn't see
property.
any.
Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I can't get mad at Anton for that because people will sit here and once they find out that you're the face behind a certain, a certain thing, all right, they'll try to push, they'll try to go their hardest, all right, to bring you down, to make you fail. So that right there is a smart move. A lot of people are doing that. I mean, I've said it on a few lives, man. I love being behind the scenes, doing the work, doing all this. Listen, I do not like being in the spotlight. All right. I do not like being put in the lime show.
I didn't see any information about your software company online, and this should be public information. The restaurant information is public, so I saw the UCC filings, all that, like everyone else can see. But the other businesses that you claim to have created are not online, and it should be online.
I'm gonna tell you how you can find information. You are more than welcome to join the Patreon. I disclose all of my information in there.
You see, it's like a sales funnel, right? Like it's this cult to authority. I don't, Anton.
What's crazy is, listen, we're gonna cut it down the middle. All right, like I said earlier, no matter what you do, people gonna talk, good or bad. All right. Listen, they're saying that he don't put the information out there. He's saying I have it on Patreon, but you got to pay for it. What's funny is you got people out here that give the information for free, and people don't want to listen to it. So whether he has it for free or he's charging, it don't fucking matter because people don't really want to listen to shit. Now, I guess people think that when you pay for something, it's a little more legit than when somebody's out there giving it for free.
Answering the question. If you have businesses that Pocket Watch and JT has a business, we could research his trademarks. We can verify his legit business. But for your businesses that you claim to have been successful in, we cannot do the same. How can you reconcile the difference?
How I've structured my businesses, I structured it to where I don't have to worry about people coming after me, because the one mistake that I made is that I used my real name on the internet. And I've learned that
I think you're capping the business, man, because the last
Let me answer your question.
Let them answer. We're gonna give you time, but you gotta let them answer.
Let me answer your question. The one thing that I've learned is that a lot of the business that's tied to me personally rises and falls off of whether or not people like me.
Fronting like you were a millionaire, but you only had enough money for one child, sir. You told on yourself. You think you can hide this? Think you can hide out in the open like you were with your side chicks?
Oh shit.
You told yourself, sir. You were dusting it up.
When I made the decision that I wanted to have a kid, and I said that I was only going to have one kid because I wanted to make sure that I poured every single resource that I could into the kid, right?
All right, sir.
One thing that I never, ever, ever do, ever, is finance anything.
Yo, this is where he capping, y'all, and I'm gonna hold him accountable. Pay attention to what just happened.
What happened?
AntonDaniels says he doesn't finance anything, but these documents tell a different story.
Oh.
In 2019, he was ordered to pay $15,000 to Discover Card, $8,000 to American Express, and $3,900 to Ford Motor Credit Company. 2 credit cards and 1 car note. For a man who does not finance anything, why does he owe these creditors money? LLC in February. We don't know if he's if he's trying to run away from that debt, right? Because he told you guys that he doesn't finance anything. But according to the state of Michigan, he's in debt. He owes some money. So for a man, as I'm just
Maybe because he's playing a script here on YouTube, and y'all really believe this man is like this in real. I mean, he has sponsors, kind of like like the Blueface thing, the Carlosa thing, the little baddie situation, and all these people got sponsors. When is y'all gonna, you know what? Like I said, I'm not here to convince anybody, but shit, I am wondering when is y'all gonna wake up and smell the coffee.
Just saying, somebody ain't telling the truth.
Watch how we bring it out of him. And when people ask me, it's just important to have that work-life balance.
Damn! I don't know who that is, but shout out to the comment. All right. Shout out. Shit. Listen, he's disrespectful, so I can't even get mad at what people say. All right. Shout out to that person. Anton, let please. Johnson playing his face straight goofball nigga. I can't with him, y'all, man. What's his name? Shout out to Kenny Mac. Listen, like I said, listen, I ain't that person to sit here. Well, listen, you shouldn't be saying that. Listen, Anton does it. You can't get mad when someone does the same thing you do to others back. That's why I stay in my lane and I respect. I lead with respect. All right. That's why the few times somebody got disrespectful on this drum and I held back, then when I say fuck this shit, man, fuck it. You're not gonna like what I say back, but hey, you wanted my attention, then you got my attention. But Anton got a mouth on him, yo. He's got a mouth on him that's gonna get him in trouble one day. All right. He is not a comedian. All right. That's what he needs to realize, like CoryHolcomb. And CoryHolcomb has gotten himself in trouble too. I think I spoke a little bit on it the last time. He got into it with some chick. He shouldn't have hit the chick. All right. It wasn't right. But we don't even know what was really being said. All right. I've seen the audio plenty of times. I mean, the video plenty of times, but you can't hear the audio. He should have never put hands on the chick. Never. But some chicks be wild as shit. I don't know what the fuck she was saying. All right. So when, and then the video's not there, what happened from beginning to start. That joint is clipped up. That's why I'm not even reviewing and reacting to it. All right. Because that right there, when I see clips being edited, videos being edited and clipped up, it's kind of like, y'all heard me complaining about the first video. Like, damn, why y'all just clipped it up like that? Like, I could have just reviewed and reacted to each one itself, but I don't know. Shit. See, he lucky with me. I don't talk about people kids, but he already bumped heads with someone that will talk about his kids, and there's plenty of other people out here that will talk about his kids. And me personally, why should I get mad? You see where I'm coming from? Yeah. Facts. I don't know who Kenny Mac is, but shout out to Kenny Mac, yo. I like Kenny Mac. He funny as shit at the same time. I mean, he's making some good points, but he funny as shit at the same time. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. But listen, let's watch this. Let's watch this next video. All right. I want to watch the smaller clips because I know we're gonna do a part 2. All right, it's a lot of videos on this channel. Right. And then you got their lives. You got Anton's live, Corey's live, and Kwame's live. Lord have mercy. So this might be like a 3-part live, John. For real, because there's a lot of stuff to look at. All right. Talk about. And like I say, y'all are free to express y'all opinions, man. We don't pick sides over here. But if you want to pick a side, that's on you. All right. You can't sit here and pin the blame on me. That's on you. We all human up in this, John. But let's go.
No captivity.
Yes. Yeah, be blamed. I'm like, wait, I don't know if that's one that'll get me copyrighted or what right away. I don't want them to, clip the live. So let's move on a little forward. Shout out to Captivity. All right. Yeah, no captivity with Freezy. All right, let me like his video. All right, I'm like, listen, y'all, I'm gonna like all the videos. I don't know who just came up on my job. Hold on, young Riaz. Come back in a couple minutes. Let me finish this drawing up. You heard me, young Riaz? All right, so shout out to Captivity.
Found out about my video. CoryHolcomb found out about my video and reacted to it. And this could turn the tide and shift the entire AntonDaniels and CoryHolcomb feud, especially since Cory's been heavily criticized about showing a photo of Anton's daughter and a video of his wife. But
shit, but a lot of people do the same thing on. It's like, listen, social media is just undefeated, man. Fuck that shit. Listen, everybody on social media just needs a little slack in the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighters little game thingy. All right, I said it just like that because I don't know what it's called. All right, I don't like games, but I do know I like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighters. Those was one of my 2 favorite games. All right, out of all the games that get on my nerves because people, listen, there's a reason I don't like games. I think I'm traumatized behind this, John. All right, but I sure as hell love Mortal Kombat. Shit, what was it? Sub-Zero, Scorpion. Yep. What was that, John? Shiva was her name, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Listen, I can't remember the people from Street Fighters. I just know that every time they played, one of them was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I can't listen. It's been years. But shit, everybody on social media just deserve a spot right there. Y'all want to fight it out? Go ahead. Shit. What was it called? Fatality.
Hold on. Anton said he would never go after people's families.
No nonsense. For life. Rocky K says, "What up, AD? I've been busy."
Oh, you was on his panel? I got you.
After seeing an altercation, at least you didn't get defensive like he did over the same metaphor. Salute, fam. Nah, I don't go after people's families. That's not my play.
Just in case you haven't seen my video, let me catch you up to speed.
Burning incense and sage, and y'all was over there putting smoke in the air, and y'all had y'all fucking.
There's only a 4-minute video, Riaz. Let the video finish, and I got you. I'll let you come right up. All right.
Fringes on, and y'all chicks was looking dusty as fuck, right? And so I'm looking at these women, and the women's breath stink. The kids is dirty.
But he don't talk about. Look at that.
And y'all chicks was looking dusty as fuck, right? And so I'm looking
at these
women, and the women's breath stink. The kids is dirty and nasty.
So that was my original video that some of you guys might not have seen. But God works in mysterious ways because CoryHolcomb grabbed hold to my video and uploaded it on his Instagram. Let me show you.
It's gay. I'm going to tell you right now to your face.
Hey!
You want to talk about everybody else, wife, kids, and everybody, but when somebody say something about you, y'all got to go to therapy.
Our chicks was looking dusty as right? And so I'm looking at these women, and the women's breath stink. The kids is dirty and nasty. Kids is dirty and nasty.
Hey, look here, boy. I'm gonna give you out.
Why he got that costume
on? Leave you alone. But if you don't, it's gonna be more monkey business.
I can't, yo. Like, wait a minute. He really got into the gorilla costume. Can I still do it? Let me see. Ooh, I can't do it. It's not coming out my throat. What the? Ooh, I can't do it. Damn, he really got into the gorilla. My brother used to do the gorilla nose. I'm sorry, guys. Let's get serious. Why the fuck he got the
damn? Does this mean that CoryHolcomb might use this video on his next 5150 show?
No captivity.
I don't know.
I'm the bad guy.
Christian first. I'm a Christian first.
Oh my God.
Listen, when I uploaded this video, I just felt like people should know this information. I just felt like people should know Anton is a hypocrite. But I know. And
Listen, we all knew Anton is a hypocrite for the longest. Some people just don't care that he's a hypocrite. Damn, Corey got me all discombobulated. Shit, Corey. Like, calm down. Listen, it took a minute for my baby pops to get me adjusted to CoryHolcomb, right? And what I mean by that is that in the beginning, I didn't like CoryHolcomb. I'm like, his jokes, I'm like, yo, his jokes is out of pocket. Then my baby pops was like, yo, listen, really listen to the jokes, right? And I listened to them one day and I was like really listening, and I just out of nowhere started laughing. I was like, oh shit, I really have to listen to Corey when he's listen, because there's this bull, this real big chunky bull, right? And he's bald headed, right? And he's a comedian. I don't know what his name is, man. But boy, when I tell you that his jokes, I'm like, yo, some people should not be comedians and should not be, how can I say, making jokes or comedy out of certain situations. How Corey does it, I don't know. All right. Because in the beginning, I didn't want to hear Corey because I thought he was just like every other comedian, but I'm not going to sit here and lie. All right. He makes, the situation. Now, he doesn't make fun of the person. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Well, on his personal life, I don't know. But it's kind of like he's making fun of the situation. Like, you know how never mind. Y'all not even going to understand. Best way for me to describe it is if I, if I wrote it down and got to get in my little metaphor bag. Let's continue. Yeah, I ain't gonna even understand what I'm saying. Nobody ever does. There's only a few people that can grip what I'm saying.
Will he use this video on the next 5150 show? Well, listen, I would like for anyone that watches this video and can't stand a hypocrite to try their best to send this video to Corey and let him know I'm the one that uploaded it. After all, not only did I upload the video, I used to work with Anton personally, so I'm a good judge of his character. Trust me.
Oh, snap. So he's not just speaking to speak. He knew Anton personally. So he's entitled to say what he got to say. I mean, listen, compared to us that we're just, all right, we're just going off of what we're seeing and hearing. He's been behind the scenes with the bull. So he knows how the bull really is. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie, but listen, when his wife exposed him, I don't know if that was a script or what, but when his wife exposed him, like, I believed everything she was saying about the bull. Sometimes I question. All right. And what I mean by sometimes I question is he hopping on rainbows? Is he on the DL? But I don't know.
Share this video. Get this video out. Because I think the next 5150 show, it might get a little interesting.
Ooh.
To support this channel, you could always send a super thanks. That's the heart shape with the dollar sign in it right below the video. Or you can cash out the channel at $FreezyNoCap. That's $FreezyNoCap. Also,
okay, so I think he's just promoting himself right here. All right. So listen, he's got his perspective. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I agree with him in a way. Anton is a hypocrite, right? He's contradictive. But let's check out the next video. All right. Listen, make sure y'all go check out No Captivity with Freezy. Right? Hey, no. Go on to the next video, dude. Like,
KwameBrown used to be on my nuts.
Yo, come on, Anton. Like, come on. Why can't it be a woman on your nuts? It's always got to be some man on your nuts. Why can't it be a woman? Come on, listen. Shout out to self-talk, all right, man. Shout out to self-talk. It's been a minute since I've done a video on self-talk, all right? But listen, if y'all know me for a while, y'all DM me any video from self-talk, y'all know I'm definitely going to react to it, all right? So it's been a minute since anybody sent me a video from self-talk. All right, so let's get into it. KwameBrown and AntonDaniels address each other live and things go left. Heated beef over CoryHolcomb. So basically, people are trying to say that a beef got started over the CoryHolcomb situation. I'm not so sure. I don't think so. I don't think there's any beef on KwameBrown's side. On Anton, I'm not so sure. Coming from a man that says I'm not sensitive, but gets sensitive when something, somebody says something that doesn't go his way or he don't agree with, it's kind of hard to say,
It's the honest to God truth. Hey, man, I like what you're talking about, bro. I like just to be all
Are a fool.
The video you're about to watch on self-published channel is for fair use purposes.
Okay. So in today's video, man, we got to talk about AntonDaniels and KwameBrown. It's looking like they had confronted each other live on their platforms. He's been doing some videos talking about the CoryHolcomb and AntonDaniels situation. As you guys can see, he's been doing live streams and videos and putting out content and stuff like that. So I guess AntonDaniels caught wind of that. And I don't know if KwameBrown said anything bad about AntonDaniels in those videos, but his chat was letting him know, like, hey, what's going on with Kwame? Because last we know of was that AntonDaniels and KwameBrown was cool. Remember,
I don't think Kwame said, I mean, I remember Kwame talking on AntonDaniels. He didn't say nothing bad. He broke that John down the middle, and he was real about both of them. He didn't just say, you know, things about Anton. He also spoke on Corey. And I don't hear Corey coming at KwameBrown, but I guess.
We did a video a couple of months ago when King Martin was calling out AntonDaniels, when AntonDaniels was on KwameBrown's platform talking about the Gilbert Arenas situation, with Gilbert Arenas selling his YouTube channel 50-50 partnership with Underdog Fantasy. And in that video, AntonDaniels had called Gilbert Arenas co-host nobodies. And, you know, that had upset King Martin, and King Martin went off on AntonDaniels, right? So, yeah, man. So I guess that's why, you know, people from AntonDaniels community was like, yo, you know, what's going on with KwameBrown?
What's wrong with Kwame? He talking mad crazy. What is he saying?
He wasn't even talking mad crazy. See, that's the problem with people. It's crazy how people was on Kwame chat going to his chat talking, saying that KB was talking mad shit, when in reality he wasn't. He was just giving his opinion and breaking it down the middle. For real, for real. How come you don't hear Corey complaining about the things that Kwame said about him? Come on, man.
Completely unaware of what's happening in most spaces. I get a general idea. Kwame and Carcino is talking crazy. Yeah, KwameBrown is super biased. It's sad to say lost a lot of respect. Oh, he's talking about me negatively?
Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, listen, if I'm not mistaken, KwameBrown was on the platform, right? No? Listen. Y'all got to give these people grace. I got to give them grace. And the reason that I say y'all got to give them grace is because y'all have to understand that most of these people are part of the industry, right? And so when I say they're part of the industry, as much as they try to act like they're independent and they're independent thinkers.
I thought KB didn't have nothing to do with Hollywood or the NBA or the NFL or none of that. I thought he was independent for real. I know I'm not tripping, right? Because I know, listen, KB at one point, he really said what he wanted in life. But it's just crazy how people are so caught in the celebrity of KB. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping.
Once a star in the court, now seeking peace. But the world only sees fame, not the man beneath. KwameBrown just wants a normal life, yet his fast falls causing strife. Media scrutiny, public eyes, never let him escape the ties. Yearning for understanding and empathy, but all they see is this celebrity. A man with dreams beyond the spotlight's glare, just hoping for some compassion to share. KwameBrown seeks to break free from his past, to be seen as a person at last. Just Joe Brown, he's not a joke.
I don't know. Maybe I misunderstand KwameBrown. All right. Because I think if he wanted to be, you know, I get it. Because it's the way he came on to social media. He went viral. People still see him as a celebrity. But what I see is a man, right, speaking on stories of what happened in the past. All right. Bringing awareness, try to say, hey, we should do this differently. All right. At one point, it was like this. But now that I know this, you know, it should be like this. All right, kind of like Maya Angelou. Once you know better, you do better, right? But hey, I guess to each his own. All right. Listen, y'all want to just focus on the celebrity past of KwameBrown and not realize that he's just a man now, wants to, how can I say, be a landlord? That's on y'all. Look, listen, I don't go too deep into people's lives because it's not my life. What if the scripts get flipped around and now it's your turn? Would you like it? But you know what? People don't take a minute to walk a mile in someone else's shoes. And if they did, all right, if they was able to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, they wouldn't be able to finish that walk because they could not bear the cross that that person carries. But with that being said, let's continue.
They not.
So Anton responded, and he got disrespectful in his response. So check it out right here. Here's the clip right here.
KwameBrown used to be on my nuts.
Damn.
It's the honest to God truth.
Isn't it that type of shit that got CoryHolcomb to snap on him? And I think that's what he's trying to do. See, listen, that's a tactic that Anton uses, all right? He rage baits people. But hey, people don't want to see that. They don't realize it until he does it to them.
What you talking about, bro? I like it. Used to be all on my nuts. All the time. All the time. Used to be on my nuts. But I understand that KwameBrown, after his whole thing with Gilbert Arenas, and from a business perspective, his whole thing with Gilbert Arenas, his whole thing with Stephen A. Smith, KwameBrown caught a wave. He caught a wave, and that's how he was able to build up his platform to get to whatever his subscribers is. But KwameBrown hit a ceiling. He's not able to grow his platform based off of his own analysis, based off of his own content. And so, he do these dusty live streams where it's just him off camera. Yeah.
This shit is wild. Listen, I dropped the link again down in the chat. All right, for anybody that does want to come up, give their perspective real quick on this topic. All right. Listen, this is crazy. We've already hit the 1 hour mark. So if y'all want to come up, y'all more than welcome to come up. Whoa. Come on, Anton. You need to get it together. All right. Like, I hate when people try to, how can I say, stump on people, not realizing, right, that tomorrow's never promised. And what's crazy is that some people don't even realize the same people they try to stomp on, right? Today they could be this little, but tomorrow you never know how big they can grow.
You know me. And it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So Kwame get the stimmy pack like everybody else. But you know what's embarrassing is because Kwame is supposed to be better than the dusty niggas that he's spending all of his time hanging around.
Oh, snap. I think he's talking about his subscribers. Damn.
KwameBrown is a fucking former #1 pick in the NBA. What are you doing panels with randoms that you don't even know? That's for regular, everyday people like me that didn't have the back. I see why.
You look at Kwame like a god? That's what you think Kwame is? A god? You think this is ancient Egyptian time? Like, the dude said he wants to be a regular man. Now I'm saying it, and I'm a woman, and I'm allowed to say it. Anton, why the fuck is you trying to ride Kwame's dick?
That didn't have the back. I see why Jordan was like, man, this nigga soft. But he keep trying to do what everybody else is doing instead of understanding that he's supposed to be much greater than that. It's the truth. It's no reason why I should have a bigger platform than KwameBrown.
So that's what AntonDaniels said, responding to KwameBrown, making videos about the CoryHolcomb situation in the 5150 fight that happened live on the 5150 show with CoryHolcomb and AntonDaniels, the heated exchange that went viral that everybody is still talking about. And yeah, man, so KwameBrown responded back to what AntonDaniels said about him, telling him to get off his nuts. So let's check out what KwameBrown said in response.
That's just because what's crazy is that Anton wants to be as famous as KwameBrown, right? And if the flips were to be, the scripts was to be flipped, right? Anton couldn't walk a mile in Kwame's shoes. 2 different lives, 2 different styles. You cannot bear the cross that he carries. And I don't think he wants to bear the cross that you carry.
If you can, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. That really does help support my YouTube channel, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you.
You short, no neck having dummy. You literally listened to your crowd and said, what did Kwame say? You didn't hear nothing I said. You didn't take your time. Remember, the man that don't give a fuck about what nobody say, you didn't take your time and figure out what is it that I said. You automatically went to running your mouth. You automatically say, I don't.
He jumped out the window. I mean, because I seen when Kwame did the live, and I think he did the live maybe twice, if I'm not mistaken. I'm saying if I'm not mistaken, because I think he did another one, and I think that's probably this one, and I didn't catch that one. But shit, Anton, you jumped out the window, and I think this time you crashed hard. I think what Corey did, it might be able to get, slide. Will he get a lot of lashback for what he called the little girl a bitch. It's not his first time saying it. I mean, he called his own daughter. Why is people shocked?
Literally listen to your crowd and said, what did Kwame say? You didn't hear nothing I said. You didn't take your time. Remember, you automatically say, I don't be outside. Ironically, I'm outside right now. I'm just not new money like you, and I don't act like a jackass like you. I don't have to show that I'm on camera. I don't have to play tough. I'm not you, nigga. You are a fool. But if you said that I'm like a chick, but if I get upset with you, I'm a doer. I'm gonna handle it myself. You get upset with me, you got to call another grown man. What is you talking about? You got to call another man for me. And unlike you, dumbass boy, I turn my camera off because I'm not chasing clout. I don't give a fuck about this YouTube. I don't. You telling me that I want to be a content creator? You go back and look at one of my lives where I'm talking to my brother about being a content creator, you dummy. I know you got a little fetish about sucking D and nuts and all this. I understand you like to talk to me like that, but
no, he didn't.
That's not going to get me out of character. I don't got no wife. I don't got none of that. You do. And I'm going to show you why you should leave a nigga like me alone. And you should leave a nigga like Corey alone too. But now you want to play tough guy. So let's play tough guy. What is it for a man to gain the world but lose his soul? You clown ass boy. You just like Charleston White. Was that a
Hold on, wait. I could make a poem out of that. What did he just say? Hold on, wait a minute. Oh, I could make a few poems out of what he just said.
a nigga like Corey alone too. But now you want to play tough guy. Not that. So let's play tough guy.
There you go.
What is it for a man to gain the world but lose his soul?
Oh, what is it for a man to gain the world but lose his soul? I could make a few poems out of that. Somebody asked me earlier, do I write my own poetry? Yes. All I need is a few words like that, and I could make a few poems. What? Hold up, go back.
Alone too. But now you want to play tough guy. So let's play tough guy.
Yes, sir.
What is it for a man to gain the world but lose his soul? You clown ass boy. You just like Charleston White. Was at a basketball game, and some other dudes walked up to you asking you about me. Do you know that no dude in their right mind would come up to me and ask me about you? And no dude in their right mind would come up to me and ask me about
what happened? Where the video go?
Matter of fact, a dude better not ask me about no another man at a basketball game while I'm trying to enjoy my time, and I done brought tickets and there's girls around.
Okay, so that's what KwameBrown said in response to AntonDaniels calling him out, man. So yeah, like I said, at one point they were cool. So now it's looking like, that friendship or whatever it was you want to call it is now over with, man. Especially with AntonDaniels saying, get off his nuts. Like I said, Anton did.
Anton, you're gonna stop. Listen, you're gonna have to stop calling people dick suckers, dick eaters, to stop getting off your nuts when they're not like trying to do that, like that sexual talk from a man to another man, make a woman question like, mother, is you hopping on rainbows tasting the Skittles? Like, come on, man. Like, listen, people was already thinking you was zesty. The way your wife exposed you already had some people thinking you was on the DL. People are just scared to say it. And listen, this is not to bash Anton. It's kind of like, yo, this shit is getting out of pocket. And Anton does this to a lot of people. Like, don't sit here, right, and try to rage bait someone and expect for someone not to clap back. What makes you think that you're going to sit here and throw shots at someone and think that no one is going to even throw a rocket launcher back at you? You got to be really naive to think that people are going to stay shut when you talk about them.
I'm heartbroken. I really am.
You is?
In shambles.
All right, so this is O'Shea Jackson, and he says, AntonDaniels' breakdown is getting hard to watch. And listen, I think he did this on purpose. I don't know if he's chasing a bag. I don't know if Anton is really hitting rock bottom. You seen the bull expose his credit card debts and all that shit. All right. Shit, I wonder if I owe credit cards. Damn, that's me thinking. I'm about to start looking and seeing if I owe anything. Snap. Anyways, you seen the bull expose him, right? And I'm kind of like wondering, because it's kind of like you went to CoryHolcomb's show, right? Cory didn't speak on you for a week, but you did. You kept on talking, you kept on threatening, you kept on saying a whole bunch of stuff. Then Cory comes back how Cory comes back. And everybody knows he's going to come back. Disrespectful, comedic. Right? That's how he's going to be. He's going to come back at him with some disrespectful comedy. So it's kind of like he knows that Cory has a trigger point. All right? And he knows what to do to trigger him. So it's kind of like, dude, I think he was looking for this. As soon as Cory says something, I'm taking my daughter out of school. She's going through this. She's going through that. Why did you put your daughter in this mess? You posted your daughter on Facebook and on YouTube at one point. So people got the picture of your daughter. All right. The video where his, there's a video with him and his wife, and it feels like his wife is there, but she really don't want to be there. Like, it makes some women think, is you like treating your wife bad? We already know you cheat. You admitted to that, and she exposed you for it. So, listen, these are my opinions, all right? This is not to bash or make any, but see, this is why you should not bash nobody online or bring them down, because people are going to hit you with your own truth. That's why I like being neutral. Like, I don't pick sides, none of that, because you never know what's going to happen. Listen, I've learned the hard way. All right. While, people are telling you I love you, they got a few knives in your back. And as they're pulling each knife out, they're asking you if you're okay. Right. And then in the same breath as they ask you, are you okay? I love you. They put that knife right back in.
100%. I'm in shambles. I'm in shambles. I am 100% in shambles.
As we all know by now, CoryHolcomb decided to really take AntonDaniels' wife and daughter through the mud. And AntonDaniels has officially...
The same way that AntonDaniel has done other families. It just so happens to be CoryHolcomb being AntonDaniels' karma.
Daniels' wife and daughter through the mud. And AntonDaniels has officially responded to what happened.
My focus right now is trying to figure out the psychological damage, impact, and trauma that has been done to my daughter. I pulling her out of school, early therapy.
Look at the way he's got to think about it. It's like you was calculating this for a minute. You was trying to make this move. And it so happened that, Cory kind of bit into it.
Making sure that she is protected, trying to see what the fallout will be as far as her having to be removed from some of her competitions because of a lot of different things, including online bullying and psychological damage.
Now, according to AntonDaniels, his daughter, is underage.
She
is an athlete. I do know that about her, that she was already applying to colleges and things like that. And so what happened was when CoryHolcomb displayed her on his show, the daughter obviously found out about it. It was obviously hurt about it, according to AntonDaniels. I don't think he has any reason to lie about that.
Yeah, and we understand that. But see, here's my thing. How did them other families feel the way Anton was speaking about their kids? And it wasn't the first time. It just so happens that Anton deletes certain videos when he wants to be the perfect role model in certain situations.
That. And so the daughter was breaking down. The daughter probably doesn't even know anything about like what's going on in the black sector YouTube. She's just,
I feel bad for his daughter, but I don't feel bad for Anton. I feel bad for his daughter because she is the casualty, right, of this crossfire. But he made that happen. It's his fault. This is why I say, and I constantly make this, listen, my motto here on YouTube. I don't care where I'm at. I don't speak about no one's kids, no one's. Why? I got kids. And just because the person, right, doesn't speak back, doesn't mean that someone else will sit here and give you the karma.
just living her life. And the mom has to go and rescue the daughter. And obviously the mom, AntonDaniels' wife, was talked about very, very badly. And now he's, kind of in this mix, and he understands that the beef has gotten out of hand.
That happens in their lives when other people go after children. I thought.
What do you expect's going to happen when you start threatening people and start doing this stuff? Listen, CoryHolcomb is no different from nobody else. What separates him from the regular people that he's a comedian? But what about in a few years from now if he decides to retire from that and become just a regular person? Then he's just a regular person. What changes is the bag that he carries. The same with you, Anton. But how you carrying the bag and still owe debts?
Thought that children was off limits, but I guess not. So my number one concern.
Children are off limit depending on the people, depending on the person, right? But this is social media. Once again, like I said earlier, there is no book for people on social media. They don't care. Social media is undefeated. And he should know this because what was done to him, he's done to others.
And I'm going to say this. And again, this is for all of the civil, awesome Black people out there and people in the United States of America that want to ensure that their children are protected. My number one goal is to always try to figure out how I can protect my underage child.
He's also talking about it here.
That's all I've been authorized to say. Had a couple emergency phone calls. The only thing that I can say at this point is that I can't say anything else about it. First, I need to go and make sure that my daughter is okay. And so it's a lot of tests. I'm not sure if she got to get pulled out of school for the rest of the year. This may affect her in that way. So I have to make sure that she's okay.
So he's trying to move forward. He's also saying that the kids are off limit. His heart is broken about this. And typically when you get into it with people on YouTube, typically kids or family members are off limits. I got into a beef in 2021 with the Saint in the Center where I quickly found out that, you can get into one of these things where, your family is not off limits. Now, it is true. I started the beef with the Saint in the Center, but it was never harsh. But I quickly found out that, yes, your family can be drug into it, and it's not fun when your mom is calling, your dad is calling, the video goes up and everybody in your community is calling and saying, yo, what's going on? Who is this dude? And it will make you rethink about engaging in beefs again, right? Because the right person will take it there. And I found that out right here on YouTube. I've been in many beefs before where I've gotten doxxed, but that one was it hit a little bit different.
You're speaking facts, O'Shea. Listen, it just so happened that Corey is Anton's karma. All right, you're speaking a lot of facts. Listen. I'm not. Listen. How can I say this? I'm going to be real with y'all because that's the only way I know how to talk. All right, I can't feel bad for Anton. All right, I just can't. Not when I've watched him do the same thing to other people for years. Not when he's crossed lines, talked about folks' families, and acted like he was untouchable. But I do feel bad for his child because, kids don't deserve to be dragged into, adult mess. Kids don't deserve to be collateral damage, all right, in somebody else's ego war. And that's the part that, always hits me. The innocent ones end up catching the heat for things they never said, never did, and never asked for. All right, but let's talk about the karma because, baby, karma is undefeated. Karma don't miss. Karma don't get tired. Karma don't need it don't need a GPS. All right, it knows exactly where you live, and sometimes it doesn't come for you directly. All right, sometimes it comes through the people you love, the people you protect, the people you will go to war for, and that's the part that hurts the most. That's why I always said, be careful what you put out because it'll come back through the ones closest to you. That's not superstition, all right? That's life. Them old heads don't seem so crazy now, do they? They seem very logical, right?
And that's because, my mom called and she was like, well, what's going on? Somebody's calling me about this guy talking about you. And so once it gets there, that's when it's like real life. All right, it's okay if somebody talks about you and all that, but once somebody comes in, and in my case, it was some allegations about me that wasn't true. Well, I thought that this beef shouldn't be like that. Kids and family members should be off limits, and that's typically true when you're dealing with somebody that's playing the same rules as you.
Facts.
You're not dealing with somebody who's playing the same rules as you. You're dealing with somebody, obviously, who feels like they were disrespected. You forced it to go there. Whether you feel or not that that's true is left to be seen. Again, I didn't feel that AntonDaniels' wife or his daughter deserved this at all.
Facts.
But the reality is that AntonDaniels himself has spoken typically before, right? Like on his own podcast to some women about their kids. Well, listen.
That's what they was at.
That's the word of the day. I think you need some therapy.
You wanna know what?
I need
therapy.
I feel like it's the age group, like you said.
Hey, can we get a 1 in the
If
chat
it's
if you
like
say kids?
We don't gotta talk about
let
it.
me tell you something. The only person
Let's get off that topic.
The only
But
person that believe your
kids.
kids. Let me tell you something. When people post their kids online, you the only person that think that your kid is awesome.
Now, again, I want to basically say something about Anton here. He's not really saying F them kids like that. He's not talking about anybody's kids in particular.
Not here.
He's just saying that, listen, nobody really cares about the kids. And actually, he goes into more detail here.
Oh my God.
This is real talk. Let me give y'all a reality check, right? When you post your kids online, nobody gives a about your kids but you.
And he knows that, but he still decides to keep trolling. Now y'all see my point?
Like there may be people.
Wow.
There may be people that like your post, but we don't give a about your kid.
Woo! When people are scrolling on Facebook, they're not really concerned about them kids because those kids are only important to you. The issue is that Anton is not being as blatant as CoryHolcomb was with him. He's just trying to prove a point. Only people who really care about those kids are you.
But you're not going to let it slide on how he said we in there, all right? So he put himself in there. We.
Now, AntonDaniels is going to have to use that same framework because when it comes to his daughter, in his situation with CoryHolcomb was not willing to give his daughter the benefit of the doubt because using AntonDaniels' framework, your daughter's only important to you. because you raised her, you had her to somebody else. It wasn't that serious. And this is the situation in which AntonDaniels decided it was enough.
Corey, he won. Corey and Craig, you win. You win, I give up.
No, you're not.
I have to figure out what collateral damage happened after that. You guys win. I got to figure out how to pick up the pieces.
You're going to keep antagonizing until it goes deeper already. And then you're going to try to sue. You had already lawsuits, all right, in your mind from the beginning. This shit was premeditated. We all know fucking Anton's
family is in shambles. Daughter is in shambles. Literally having my wife take her over to get evaluated and figure it out, because crying inside of the principal's office trying to figure out what to do.
So he's saying, Craig, like, listen, Corey, you guys won. I got to pick up the pieces. My daughter is in shambles. I believe it, and man, my heart goes out, you know, to all of the brothers in this, man. Like, I love CoryHolcomb's 5150 show.
Me too.
I had a relationship in which, you know, I saw AntonDaniels coming up. I saw him pass me up. I'm seeing, you know, him doing some great things for himself after trying YouTube and finally being successful. I've talked to his wife before. I'm really proud of his daughter and what she's doing. That which I know about her. And, you know, like I said, I was going to go to Detroit one day, hang out with them and everything like that. Like, I'm really, really, you know, happy that him and his wife still together and all that, despite the problem. However, here is what we're going to have to understand. And while I'm so hurt, like, really, about what happened and how he must feel, we as content creators got to understand, when we get into beefs with people, we put our family at risk.
Yep.
Okay. Especially when people look at us for not being human. Let me explain what I'm saying.
Before you do that, man, he's not lying. And before we end this, John, I'm gonna give myself, you know, I'm gonna give a little commentary myself. But listen, Anton has spent years talking about people, dragging people, disrespecting people, and acting like he was above, all right, the consequences. He built a whole brand off of being loud, bold, and unfiltered. And that's fine. All right. That's his lane. But when you make a living off of crossing lines, you can't be shocked when someone crosses one back. You can't be surprised when the same energy you put out, all right, circles the block and knocks on your door. That's not an attack. That's reciprocity, right? And the thing is, right, if Anton had never talked about people's kids, if he had kept that boundary sacred, I would feel different. I would be like, nah, that's foul, right? That's uncalled for. But he didn't. He went there first. He normalized that lane. He made it a part of, how can I say, the content ecosystem. So now that it's happening to him, people want to act like, you know, it's the end of the world. No. This is, how can I say, this is the world he helped create. This is the environment he contributed to. And the internet doesn't care who started it. It only cares who's trending.
When you give harsh takes on the internet and your harsh commentary, for most content creators, it's just a story. We see something happen, we react to it, we don't know them, and we are not emotionally tied to the person in the story. Whether something happens to them, they get killed, it's their fault, but we fail to connect that somebody loves them or somebody is connected to that story. And we just give an opinion and move on. And so because we're so nonchalant about it, there's no emotion to it. And somebody like AntonDaniels, he reacts to videos, hundreds of videos every month, and you're just giving a oblique observation, non-emotional observation, you know, pretty much ridiculing people, going after the Black community. So what happens is people look at you as a person who don't give a right? You don't care about nobody else. You know, you don't have no sympathy or no love for anybody. Obviously, this is not true. AntonDaniels got responsibilities. He got people he loved, just like CoryHolcomb. I mean, he's also a harsh critic, you know, but he got people he loves, he got people he care about, he got people he's doing things for. But the problem is that when you come across like that, people don't look at you as a person anymore. They look at you as a person that is, you know, just a piece of shit. So what they start to do is they start to internalize you and everything about you as being evil. So it makes it, like I said, when somebody wants to come after you, they don't feel bad about talking about you in a negative way. Because once you start to say hateful things about the Black community, or people think you're biased towards the white community or white conservatives, then anything associated with you should also be roasted up. Some people don't have a filter to say, wait, hold on one second. This is his daughter, or this is his wife. We shouldn't go there. Okay. Now, in the case of him and Corey, I think Corey was wrong for talking about his daughter, but I will say that he definitely, AntonDaniels didn't help his case either, because what AntonDaniels was doing was aggravating Corey. Again, after the show was over, it was some animosity between the two of them. And then what AntonDaniels did was try to milk it. He basically tried to continue a fight with, number one, a legendary comedian, a person who don't have nothing to lose, and then a person that can come in and talk about anybody and hide it under the fact that it's comedy.
That's a fact, Joe. Everything that O'Shea is saying right now is factual. I mean, I can't even disagree, right? And he's being neutral between both of them, right? He's cutting it down the middle with both of them, and it's true. Listen, Corey has his moments, Anton does too, right? But you know, like, listen, it's crazy to sit here, like me personally, sit here and say, well, you know, I'm going to pick Anton's side. I'm going to pick Corey's side. No, man, they was both wrong in this situation, both of them, right? But at the end of the day, Anton wanted to take it a little further, and he got what he asked for.
What they can do. So now you're dealing with somebody who don't care you're beefing with, and you don't have the moxie to deal with somebody that's a Chicago stomp down gangster ass comedian that don't have no filter and will destroy anything in his path. None of us as content creators are ready to deal with somebody like, for the most part, CoryHolcomb, you know, somebody that could just play dirty. I mean, some people can, but not if you are a person that has like a wife, a daughter, you know, and they can get a hold of it. Of course, you're gonna use it, and then he can hide it underneath the guise of comedy. Attack your wife, you know, as a man that have these things, and if it hurts you, it bothers you. It might not bother you, but if it bothers your daughter breaks down crying, she has a nervous breakdown, and then your wife is looking at you like, see, because of what you're doing online, you have hurt my daughter. My daughter is innocent, but because of you, you did it. And as a man, you got to stand on that. And, you know, this is what the case is. So when your daughter is being hurt, then Anton has to look at himself in the mirror and say, what's going on with my daughter right now? I added to this. I'm part of the issue, or I'm all of the issue, however he wants to look at it. And it's unfortunate.
That's exactly what I was saying. Right. And again, the child didn't ask for any of this. Right. That's the part that makes me pause. All right. That's the part that makes me say, damn, because kids should never be the punchline. Kids should never be the target. Kids should never be the weapon. And even though Anton has crossed that line before, I still don't want to see his child, you know, get dragged. That's where, you know, my empathy kicks in. Not for him, for the innocent one caught in the crossfire. Right. Like, this whole situation is a reminder that the internet is not a game. All right. These words have impact. These jokes have consequences. These content moments turn into real life pain for people who didn't sign up for the spotlight. Right. And when you build your, you know, platform on tearing others down, eventually the universe will test you. It might not hit you directly. It might not hit your, you know, reputation, your peace, your relationships. Or yes, it might. But listen, one thing I could tell you for sure, it will hit someone that you love. That's why I always say, move with intention, because the comeback is always stronger than the send-off.
And as content creators, we roll this dice every day with every upload that we make. And it's sometimes when I give a take that's too harsh, I give a take that is, what I would say, too ostracizing of somebody. I got to record the video because we got to start thinking about what the other person is. Who is that person's family? Who loved them? Because I'm going to tell you like this, AntonDaniels for certain while has chased being too polarizing. I've seen other folks do that. Tommy Sotomayor. And then when you're too polarizing, all somebody's going to do is come back and be too polarizing towards you. So you're going to get somebody who's more polarizing. Like none of us can get in the same frame as CoryHolcomb. He's a comedian. He don't care. He will take it there. There's no way you can compete with a person like that. There's no way if it go down, you can't go toe to toe with somebody like that because you can't really talk about him in a way that will roast him or make him feel bad because he just don't care. But if you have a daughter, you have a wife, and he's going to come and hit you there, and that hurts. But again, this is what happens when you're polarizing to everybody on the internet, and now it's your turn. And I feel for Anton. I really feel bad for what happened to him. But I hope that we all as content creators learn the lesson that if being polarizing just to get a YouTube check or to grow in the community is chasing the bag, then the consequence of that is your daughter have a mental breakdown, your mom have a mental breakdown, where the money ain't worth it no more because there's no amount of money that can stop AntonDaniels from what he's feeling right now. No, there's no amount of money.
That's a fact.
If your daughter, your wife is upset, there's no amount of money that you can pay that your daughter can stop crying. It's not worth it, man. And as content creators, I see so many dudes chasing checks, trying to chase a fan base.
Ain't no different.
It's not worth when somebody that you love get hurt in between. It's not worth it, man. And I really feel bad that, number one, that all this happened. Again, if it was just a fight and that was it and it was dead, but now all of this and who knows what else is to come. I'm going to be honest. Stuff like this, these kind of beefs is what drives other things to happen. And this is my concern about content creators right now, especially in the Black space. Because now once shit goes too far on either side, it don't have to just end like that. There's been YouTubers getting shot this year, right? There's been YouTubers taking it personal. Like the YouTubing beef is starting to be like rap beef now. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't always the case. And again, it's just not a good look on either side. My heart goes out to him. My heart goes out also to my brother CoryHolcomb.
All right. So listen, man. Shout out to O'Shea Duke, man. Let me like the video for his video, for putting out his video, man. This shit is wild. Hold on. Why it took me out of my YouTube? I can't even. I gotta look at both of them because I can't see all the comments on StreamYard for some reason. There we go. Right. But snap, ain't nobody come up. All right, give an input. Snap. All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna finish saying what I gotta say, and I'm gonna end this, John. Listen, me, like I said earlier, I don't feel bad for Anton. I feel bad for the child. I feel bad for the innocents that get dragged into, adult chaos, and I feel bad for the cycle that keeps repeating itself. All right, people refuse to learn from their own behavior. But today we talked about it honestly. We're going to, we broke it down, the patterns, the hypocrisy, the karma, and the consequences. Because if we don't, the same story will keep happening with different names. And I'm tired of watching grown folks create storms and then cry when it rains. All right, you created that storm. All right, listen. When you get involved in internet beef, you got to understand something real. All right, you're stepping into an arena where people think, no, they don't even think that's the problem. All right, where people don't how can I say, fight fair. They don't think straight, and they don't care, right? They don't care who gets hit in the crossfire. You have to be ready, not because you want, to sacrifice something, but because the internet will take something from you anyway. All right, that's the cost of admission. Folks will drag your name, your family, your peace, your reputation, and yes, sometimes even the people you love. All right, and it's not because you deserve it. It's because the internet has no boundaries, no breaks, and no emotional intelligence. All right, it's a free for all with Wi-Fi. All right, why do I say that? Because people don't actually care about what you say. They care about whether how can I say, whether what you say fits, all right, whether it fits their narrative, all right, or if you agree with them, all right. You're a genius if you disagree something like on some real shit. You're a whole genius if you disagree. Suddenly, you're the villain. Like, I went from being a genius, now I disagree, and now I'm a villain. What's crazy is, right, when you disagree something, you're biased, messy, right, fake, problematic. They don't want your truth. They want their comfort. They want you to validate their wounds, their grudges, their insecurities. And when you don't, they turn on you like you stole something. That's why I don't let, how can I say, the internet pressure me into, picking sides or performing sainthood. Listen, ain't none of us a saint. All right. A lot of us got plenty of sins. All right. Underneath our sleeves. Like, listen, man. People want you to be everything they're missing in their own lives. They want you to be a God, right, when they need direction, a priest when they need forgiveness, a mother when they need comfort, or a nurse when they're bleeding emotionally, right? They want you to fix wounds you didn't cause. They want you to heal pain you didn't create. They want you to carry burdens they refuse to put down. In the moment you don't play that role, they act like you betrayed them. Baby, shit. I don't get tired of saying this. Baby, I'm not your emotional support influencer. I don't think anybody wants to be that. All right? Hey, that's exactly why I stay in my lane. Not because I'm scared, not because, I'm neutral, but because I understand the psychology of this place. Some people are not here to listen. All right? They're here to project. They're here to spill their insecurities onto anyone who stands still long enough. Right? They're here to fight ghosts from their past using strangers on the internet as punching bags. Right? And I'm not volunteering to be nobody's emotional crash dummy. I refuse. Like you hear them constantly. A lot of people talk, I'm about to crash out now. Well, then crash the fuck out. Make sure you stop at the stop sign or some shit. All right, we don't want no more accidents. If you want to crash out, you crash out then. Hit the stop sign and crash out. Hit the wall and crash out. Make sure you crash out on your own. Like, on some real shit. You can always tell when someone hasn't, how can I say, healed. They don't respond to what you said. They respond to what, how can I say, they felt. All right, they don't hear your message. They hear their triggers. They don't want clarity. They want conflict. And when you're dealing with people like that, you can say the sky is blue and they'll argue with you because their spirit is cloudy. That's why I don't take half of this stuff personal. It's not about me. It's about what they're carrying. All right. And that's the danger. Right. That's the danger of the internet beef. You're not fighting one person. You're fighting their trauma, their ego, their insecurities, their loneliness, their need for validation, and their audience cheering them on like hype girls, right? You're fighting the version of themselves they refuse to confront. And when someone is that disconnected from their own healing, they will drag anyone into the mud just to avoid looking in the mirror. That's why the consequences, right, hit so hard, because the fight was never equal to begin with. Hey, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all could have came up and had a convo with a shorty, but ain't nobody hit the line. Young Rios did earlier, but I told him to wait for that one video. He never came back up. But I'm about to end this John. All right, I'm gonna finish saying what I gotta say. All right, I'm gonna get this John off my chest and into the mic, and I'm gonna be off this John, and I'll be back at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. All right, like for those of y'all that can't sleep, because I know I'll be up around that time, and sometimes I can't sleep. All right, so I'll get back on this John. We'll do the part 2 at around like 3 or 4 in the morning. My daughter don't got school. All right. And we could, pull a few hours in before my kids get up. All right. Those are around the times where normally I could just pull off, like a 5-hour live, probably a 6-hour live. I could probably pull it off, even probably longer. Anyways, so when I say be ready to sacrifice something, I'm not glorifying it. I'm warning you. The internet is not a safe space. It's not a therapy room. It's not a place for people who still, how can I say, bleed from unhealed wounds. And if you step into beef with people like that, you're stepping into a storm that was brewing long before you arrived. That's why I stay, in my lane, speak my truth and keep my peace, because I know my worth. I know my purpose, and I'm not letting someone else's insecurities become my story. That's something that I see constantly here on social media. So, to wrap all this up, let me say this, all right? Let me say this clearly. What we just talked about isn't just the internet drama, all right? It's a mirror showing how people move, how they react, how they project, and how quick they are to weaponize their opinions when their narratives don't match their own. Corey and Anton might be the faces of, this moment, but the behavior we're seeing, that's the internet's true personality. Loud, messy, selective, and always hungry for a new villain. Right? In the moment you step into that arena, you better know what you're stepping into. Right? We broke down Anton, the contradictions, the hypocrisy, the moment where he crossed the line and acted like he was above the consequences. And we broke down Corey, the comedian who always been raw, reckless, and unapologetically himself. Neither one is perfect, neither one is innocent, and neither one deserves blind loyalty. That's why I refuse to pick sides. I'm not here to be a fan. All right, I'm here to be honest, and honesty doesn't come, how can I say, with a jersey. All right, we talked about KwameBrown getting dragged into this mess for simply giving his opinion, an opinion that wasn't hateful, wasn't messy, wasn't biased, and yet the internet came for him anyways, because he didn't say what they wanted him to say, because he didn't, how can I say, feed their narrative. That's the danger of social media. People don't, they don't want the truth. They want, how can I say, agreement. They want you to validate their wounds, not challenge their thinking. And when you don't, when you don't do that, they turn on you like, you betrayed them personally, like if they knew you. We talked about karma, how it doesn't always, hit you directly, but it will hit something or someone close to you. And that's why I said, don't feel bad for Anton. I don't feel bad for Anton, but I do feel bad for his child. Kids should never be dragged into adult chaos. But when you've spent years crossing lines, eventually those lines come back around. That's not cruelty, right? That's consequence. And the internet doesn't care who gets caught in the crossfire as long as they get a show. All right. We talked about how people online want you to be everything they're missing in their own lives: a healer, a savior, a mother, a therapist, a moral compass, all while they refuse to do the work on themselves. They spill their insecurities onto strangers and call it accountability. They attack others for, behavior themselves participate in. And that's why, I stay in my lane, not because I'm scared, because I understand the psychology behind all this chaos. Right? And the truth is that, when you step into internet beef, you're not fighting one person. You're fighting their trauma and their evil, their audience, their projections, and their unhealed wounds. You're fighting people who don't want resolution. All right? They want entertainment. You're fighting people who don't want truth. All right? They want validation, and if you're not ready for that, you'll lose something. Your peace, your reputation, or someone you love. I don't get tired of saying it. That's why I move with intention and not impulse. So my conclusion is simple. All right, this whole situation is a lesson in boundaries, in accountability, in karma, all right, and in the reality of social media culture. If you don't want negativity coming your way, don't put negativity out. If you don't want your family dragged, don't drag someone else's. And if you're not ready for the consequences, stay out of the chaos, because the internet is undefeated, unpredictable, and unforgiving. And the only way to survive, right, is to stay grounded, stay real, and stay true. Right? Stay true to who you are, not who the internet wants you to be. Right? Listen, we're about to end this, John, but I gotta say this. I lead by example, right? That's the difference between me and a lot of people online. I don't have to scream, drag, or disrespect to make a point. I don't have to tear people down to stand tall. My character speaks louder than how can I say, than any of my clapbacks ever could. But on social media, people don't want leadership, right? They how can I say, they don't want maturity. They don't even want growth. All right. They want chaos. They want drama. They want to, poke at you until you become the version, of yourself you worked hard to outgrow. And that's exactly why I don't step into online beef, because I refuse to let strangers pull me out of my peace. The internet loves to test you, right? They want to see if they can push your buttons, trigger your trauma, or drag you into that. All right. They want to drag you into a fight that doesn't even belong to you. They want to see if they can make you snap, curse, cry, or break character. All right. They want to bring out the side of you that you don't like, the side you've healed from, the side you've worked on, right? The side you buried because it's no longer, it no longer serves you. And when you don't give them that reaction, they get confused, they get bored, all right? They move on, because chaos is their entertainment, not their lifestyle, right? But me, I'm not entertaining nobody's dysfunction. I'm not performing for people who don't even know themselves. I'm not letting the internet, right, turn me into a puppet for their amusement. I've seen too many people lose themselves trying to win arguments that don't matter. I've seen people ruin their reputations, their peace, their relationships, all because they wanted to prove a point. Prove a point to what? To strangers who don't even care? All right, I'm not doing that. I'm not sacrificing my growth for a moment of digital applause. And let's be honest, most online beef isn't even about the issue. It's about the ego. It's about the projection. It's about who haven't healed, trying to drag others into their emotional mess. They want you to fight their ghosts for them, all right? They want you to validate, their pain by participating in their chaos. They want you to, match their energy because they can't, rise to yours. And when you refuse, they call you scared, fake, or neutral. Yeah, call me neutral all you want. That doesn't even affect me. But no, baby, that's not the issue. Baby, the issue is, I'm just wise. I listened to my old heads when I was growing up, right? Listen, I stay out, right? How can I say this? I stay out of, online beef, because I know myself. I know my power. I know my voice. And I know that once I step into something, right, I'm stepping in with intention, not impulse. Right? I don't argue, for sport. I don't fight for entertainment. I don't clap back for views. All right. If I address something, it's because it matters, not because the internet is bored and wants, a show. And that's what, separates leaders from followers. Leaders don't move on demand. People online want chaos because, chaos distracts them from their own lives. It gives them something to talk about, something to react to, something to feel superior about. But I'm not here, to be anyone's distraction. I'm not here to be, the main character in someone else's unresolved trauma. I'm here to build, to speak truth, to uplift, to challenge, to grow. And If you can't do any of that, if you're constantly fighting battles that don't belong to you, then I don't know what to say. So yes, I lead by example. I choose peace, all right, over pettiness. I choose purpose over popularity. I choose growth over gossip. And if that makes me, boring to the internet, so be it. I'd rather be boring and blessed than chaotic and lost. Because at the end of the day, the people who truly listen to me, all right, the people who value my voice, the people who come to me, to my lives for my truth, they don't need to be messy. All right. They just need to be real. And that's exactly who I am. And with that being said, since no one hit the link, all right, I'm going to get off this drum, man. And until next time, the shorty out.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn the blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray. Lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's a commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. A shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them love, compassion, and light, so they can lead us out of this endless night. Let's unite as one strong force. For our children, let's stay on course. Together we can make a change and secure a better future in exchange. Y'all should have listened the first time they let the cat out the hat. Now it's a crime. Many are falling into a trap, thinking it's a game, but they full of cap. Some are ready and fully strapped, while others keep falling into the gap. The warning signs were clear as day, but some chose not to heed what they say. Now the consequences come to light. Those who ignored are in for a fight. Listen close and learn from this mishap. Don't be caught unaware, don't fall into the trap. From the wisdom of my elders, I learned women are strong, independent, and firm. But sometimes we need a helping hand to conquer challenges and make a stand. Independence is crucial, that's true. Yet together, with a man, we can pursue. Respect yourself first and foremost, so others will treat you like the most. Ladies, growing up, remember this advice. You're capable of anything you devise. But partnership and respect go hand in hand. Embrace your strength and make a stand. Memories of the past I couldn't see, now I understand. The wisdom they gave me, respect yourself first, that's the key. To earn respect from others is how it should be. A man's worth measured by how he treats his queen. Love and romance in the air, a beautiful scene. A woman's power to uplift or demean. In her hands lies a man's dream. Lessons learned from an OG so true. In matters of the heart, they know what to do. Love and respect intertwined like glue. In a world where old-fashioned values still ring through. Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan was a fairy tale. Now males want to be females without fail. Women want to be a man, it's a twisted tale. Flipping scripts and roles, they set sail. Fighting for roles, turning to moles. Making hits with their agenda goals. Targeting our kids, it takes a toll. To them it's a bliss, to us it's a black hole. They ain't trying to miss. Their agenda is the ultimate twist. Infiltrating young minds with their list, but we won't let them persist. I'm with women's rights, but what about men's too? Equality for all, it's long overdue. We want progress, we need to see both sides. Blame and shame won't help us unite. Don't label him a deadbeat without looking in the mirror. Sometimes it takes two to create rupture. Let's have conversations that include everyone. Empathy and understanding, the battles can be won. Men face struggles too, let's not forget. Their mental health matters, let's not neglect. It's time to break down walls and build bridges instead. Together we can strive for equality ahead. You scream for the police every time he come around, then scream child support abuse, playing victim in this town. Enjoy that check, boo, but remember what goes up must come down. The only time he's worthy is when he bails you out the mess you found. You play the game, manipulating hearts without a doubt, but karma's knocking at your door, there's no way out. You point fingers and shift the blame around, but in the end, it's your own chaos that you found. You dance with danger, living on the edge of lies, but the truth will catch up to you, no more disguise. The man you rely on to clean up your mess is so profound, will soon see through your facade and leave you astounded. Using a child as a weapon, it's a shame. A woman who lacks self-respect, I can't acclaim. Real men fighting for what they believe in, never in vain. Standing 10 toes down, bringing awareness to the pain. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, not by tearing others down for personal wealth. Real men don't back down, they fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart, supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. Real women out there blazing trails, men by their side never looking pale. Rights for all, let's keep the balance true. Men have a voice, let's listen to. In this crazy world where battles are fought, let's remember the men who give it all they've got. Respect to those who speak their stories loud. Together we stand strong and proud. Together we stand, united we'll rise, setting an example for young eyes. In every step we take, in every plan, guiding the next generation's hand. Leading by actions, not just by words, teaching them to fly like birds. Showing love and respect in all we do, for they're always watching, taking cues. Hand in hand, let's pave the way for a better tomorrow, starting today. Our children learn from what they see. Let's show them how great they can be. Let's be what our children need.